Hello, and welcome to our first of three segments in our Meet the MS Finance Faculty Director series, a series of conversations designed to provide an in-depth look at what makes the University at Buffalo's MS Finance program and its people so special. My name is Aaron Shaw. I'm the Assistant Director of Recruitment for our full-time MBA and MS programs, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that QR code here towards the end of today's conversation. I'm joined today by one of those special people, the MS Finance Program Faculty Director, Sudhir Suchak. Sudhir, welcome and thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
So let's get right into it, shall we? I've got some comprehensive and fun questions that I'd like to ask, but before I do, can you provide us with a little details surrounding your background?
Certainly. Well, first of all, I'm certainly very pleased to be able to provide this presentation on various topics, which will be very useful for any potential students that are interested in the Masters of Science in Finance at the University at Buffalo. I have been teaching at the university for almost 35 years, the last 10 years as a full-time faculty, and prior to that as an adjunct while working at HSBC Bank. I worked for HSBC for 32 years, M&T Bank for some 7-8 years, as well as other companies such as General Motors, DuPont Corporation. I have an MBA degree in finance and accounting from Canisius College, which is a local Jesuit college. I attended University at Buffalo for my undergrad studies back in the 1970s, of course. I've also lectured at many other colleges and universities in Western New York area, pretty much every college university that exists here as an adjunct. I've also lectured at various other seminars offered by the bank while working there. For the last 15 years of my banking career at HSBC Bank, I was the director of training, particularly commercial lending training, which allowed me to provide training to commercial executives and business executives worldwide. HSBC Bank today has operations in 65 countries. Back when I was with them, they were in 82 countries. And I had visited and trained executives in some 24 countries across the world, as well as all offices in the United States. I typically teach banking and finance courses, which is obviously the area that I have the expertise in. But I've also taught, of course, accounting, economics, corporate finance, etc. Today, I teach both in the undergrad as well as the MS Finance program to students. I mentor them all the time, provide career advice to the students, particularly because of the knowledge and experience that I have working in the business world.
That's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing and giving us some details regarding your background. But I'd like to now move on to the questions surrounding some more information about yourself and how that is directly linked to the MS Finance program. So at what point in your career did you decide on an academic career path? And what motivated you to become a teaching faculty member?
Well, it was a natural transition for me to move into academia after I left HSBC Bank. Actually, I retired from there some 10 years ago because I was doing training throughout the last 10, 15 years at the bank. While training executives is a bit different than teaching, it did provide a good knowledge and understanding to me how to deal with individuals from different parts of the world, of course, because I did train in many, many countries. And at the same time, I wanted to apply some of the experience that I had in mentoring individuals at the bank as well in the academia. I enjoy teaching very much. It's in my DNA. And I thought this was a good transition for me to be a faculty at the University of Buffalo.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. And so at that point in your career, you're already a teaching faculty member. So what prompted you to take on the rigorous role of being a program faculty director on top of that?
One of the key roles for a program director of a master's program is curriculum development as well as career development for the students. These are the areas that I was involved with. I had published many, many training manuals at the banks, and I felt that I can use some of that knowledge, particularly being in finance, to apply here at the university. Being a trainer at a bank involved assisting individuals in career development as well. And that's one of the things that I did at the bank as well. And I thought this was a good way for me to transition into academia in the role of a program director. I've been a program director for about four to 5 years now here. And I truly enjoy that role very much.
Excellent. Thank you. Moving on. So we all know students that have that extra special spark, which ultimately makes them uber successful in a lot of cases. So thinking back on your best students, what qualities or characteristics did they bring to the experience that you admire the most?
But foremost, those students that are proactive in their learning experience at the university tend to be the best and have the best qualities as well. Critical thinking is essential, particularly in a rigorous program such as MS Finance. Students need to think outside the box. There are many case projects that are assigned by faculty to students, and these projects require significant thinking outside the box, critical thinking, in order to present, as well as communication skills. These are the traits that students should have or can develop while here at the university.
Excellent. Thank you. Great advice. Okay, moving on. What sort of connection can a student expect in and out of the building with yourself or other finance faculty members?
We always encourage students to stay in touch with their faculty. There are ways they can do that. We always recommend that students first email a faculty member so that he or she is able to set aside sufficient time to meet with the student. Faculty members are more than willing to provide advice and consultation to the students and also assist students that have a need for additional tutoring, essentially, one-on-one, in the form of meeting with them periodically. It's important that students not wait too long to reach out to faculty members so that they don't fall behind in the course materials as well.
Okay. Yeah, fantastic. And finally, for this particular portion, I think we could both agree that anything that we do as human beings, one of the goals is to leave a lasting impact. So what is the legacy that you hope to leave behind as the program faculty director?
Well, my objective is to make sure that any future students interested in the MS Finance program at the University of Buffalo, which by far is one of the best in the nation, that I leave behind a clear curriculum, a curriculum that is quite applicable in the business world. We try to make sure that we modify, revise the curriculum to meet the business needs, not only in the United States, but worldwide.
Incredible. Thank you. Okay, now for the fun stuff. So first question in this particular portion, what's your favorite place in the world and why?
Well, Venice, Italy, where I have been there several times, not only on business trips, but also for vacation myself. And that is obviously one of my favorite cities.
Awesome. Thank you. Moving on, what matters most to you and why?
It is important that students that attend the university in the program or any program really at the university, that they have the right traits. They should be genuine with others around. They should think about treating individuals like they would like to be treated themselves. To me, it is important that we provide the students a clear understanding of what they are here for. We meet with other faculty members and make sure the fact that whatever is covered by each faculty in their courses do complement other courses that students will be taking in the program.
Great. Thank you. Okay. So what do you do to relax and recharge?
Well, I don't golf, of course. I do some reading, of course, but the most that I like is outdoors, being outdoors. Kayaking is one of my favorite sports, and I also do quite a bit of hiking. And those are that's where I get my pleasures, certainly, to be out as much as possible.
Good stuff. Any recommendations in the local area for anybody who's visiting or staying in Buffalo?
Well, there's quite a bit, by the way. The city has a lot to offer to individuals. Both in the winter as well as the summers. I always recommend students that there's more than just visiting Niagara Falls. There's a lot to be offered, there's quite a bit being offered by the city in downtown Buffalo, certainly. Very accessible to get there. The people are friendly. They're more than willing to assist anyone when asked as well. The food is great. We have some of the best restaurants, international restaurants, I would say, in the country.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with all the above. You mentioned books or reading is one of the things that you do or enjoy when trying to relax. So what books are on your nightstand right now?
Well, I don't really keep any books on the nightstand. Um, of course, I have several books, mostly nonfiction is what I like. That are in, of course, the house. I try not to read one particular book from begin to end, just to have some change. So I do have about half a dozen books that I keep next to me, in, of course, in the living room and in my office as well. Every once in a while, I like to just take a break from work, sit on the chair, comfortable chair in the office, in my house, and read some of that materials in the books. I read textbooks all the time, so I really don't need to do that at home, certainly.
Yeah, very well. Do you have an all-time favorite book?
Well, the one that I really like is reading about the Vietnam War. For some reason, I wasn't here at the time. I arrived in the United States in 1970. But the most interesting book that I have read is about the Vietnam War. And I was just somehow interested in learning more about that. Maybe because it brought about quite a bit about characters, individuals that fought the war. And one of the books that I liked most to read is, which brought about quite a bit of characterization about the war. I come from Africa. I'm Indian, but I was born in Zanzibar, East Africa. My grandparents migrated from the state of Gujarat, India, to Zanzibar. My father was a merchant trading in spices, and I lived there until my high school graduation. Unfortunately, after graduating from high school, I had to escape from the island because of the revolution that they had, and the African took over the rule from the Arab sultans that ruled the island for a couple of centuries. Asians were mostly affected as a result of that, and we all had to flee the island, unfortunately. And maybe that's why I'm interested in more reading about the Vietnam War, because many of the individuals, people from Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, had to migrate to the United States during those times.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. It makes a lot of sense. So my final question, what is the best advice that you've ever received?
The best advice that I have received is that it doesn't matter what you do in life. The most important thing is to be the best at whatever you do. And I'll never forget that.
Yeah, sound advice. And again, I appreciate sharing today. That's going to do it for this segment. To the audience, we're glad that you're here with us, but we want to hear from you. And you could use the QR code that I alluded to earlier in the presentation that's again listed here on your screen. So pull out your cell phone, hover over the QR code, go to the link that it takes you to, in which you can do anything from scheduling a one-on-one appointment to browsing our social media and so much more. But be on the lookout for our next segment where we'll take a closer look at the MS Finance program as a whole. Take care and goodbye for now.